Hi, this is Andrew with Avery's Power Sport Rentals, here today to talk about the red Honda ATV I have available to rent. Gonna kind of go over, how to start it and safely operate the machine. So to start it, the first thing you want to do is make sure that the gas is turned on. So there's a kind of a dial here. This is kind of the this is how you turn the gas on and off. Right now it is in the off position. The arrow is sort of right here indicating that it's in the off position. If you turn it down, this is the reserve tank. So the gas tank has like kind of two sections. It has the regular gas tank, then the reserve tank. If you run out of gas on the regular tank, you want to turn this dial down to reserve here, and that'll give you just a little bit of extra gas, hopefully enough to get you back to back to your camp or wherever you're hanging out for the day. So make sure you're definitely checking your gas throughout your day, and whether you have enough gas to make it back or whether you need more. And then if you turn the dial up to the on position, this is where you want it to be. Okay, you want to leave it here unless you check your tank and you look pretty low, then you might want to turn it to reserve. But for regular operations, you want it on. And then from there, we will go up to the controls here. This red switch, you're going to want this to be in the center, lined up with this other white line up here. Okay, if this red switch is over here, it will not start. And if the red switch is back over here, it will not start as well. So you want it lined up right here in the center with this other white line. Next thing you want to do is, there's no key for this quad. There's just this switch right here, okay? So you just make sure you push this switch up. And let's see, if you're neutral, which we are, this green neutral light will come on right here. This light, this red one, this is the reverse light. So if you go into reverse, this light will pop on red. Okay, and obviously this is your gas tank right here. Make sure you're checking your gas throughout your ride. You don't want to run out of gas while you're so many miles away from your base camp. Okay, so let's go over the controls real quick. To the left here, this is the clutch lever. Okay, so this is a manual transmission ATV, which means every time that you want to shift gears, right, this is your shift lever down here. If you shift down, that's going down gears. If you put your foot under and you shift up like this, foot under and you shift up, that's how you shift up. Okay, but every time you need to shift gears, you have to make sure you pull this clutch in all the way so it's touching the handlebar like that. Okay, and then while you're shifting, you let off the gas. Okay, this is the throttle. This is what makes you go right here. You push that in, gives you throttle. Okay, this lever up here, this is your front brake. Okay, for the two front tires. Then if you look down here, this is your brake pedal. Okay, and one thing I need to mention is when you're riding the ATVs, obviously make sure you're wearing a helmet at all times. Okay, I do recommend wearing sturdy pair of shoes. Some boots is preferable, but if you have some sneakers, I mean, that'll work too. Definitely no open toe shoes or flip-flops or anything like that. And this part right here, this is the exhaust. This is why I recommend wearing pants, because this gets really hot. And you might burn your leg or even your ankle. If you're wearing shorts and if you ride for a while, you'll feel the heat coming off this, and you can burn the heck out of your leg and your ankle without even touching it. Just having your leg here for an extended period of time is the exhaust gives out quite a bit of heat, so you're definitely going to burn your leg up a little bit. So I definitely recommend pants. Okay, so let's get back to starting the ATV. So after you make sure your gas is on, this red switch is in the middle. This switch is on. You're in neutral. Make sure you're in neutral gearing. when you start it. It just makes starting it easier. So now that you're ready to start, you hit this black button down here, and you got to hold it for a little bit. Okay, and see how it doesn't really want to start. So this ATV's been sitting for a while, the engine's cold, it's not really warmed up. There's a yellow lever right here. This is your choke lever. It has two positions. This is the down position. This is the position you kind of want it in for a majority of the time. Whenever you're riding the ATV, this is the position you want it in. But just for starting the ATV, you can flick it up. If it's not really wanting to start or stay on, just make sure you flick it up all the way. It's all the way up. This is going to allow more gas into the ATV, and it's going to help it warm up and stay running. You only really need to do this if it's been sitting for a while and hasn't been started, and you know the engine isn't warmed up, right? Like I could put my hand here and it's cold, right? So this is just for starting. Once it starts up and it seems like it's running fine, and you know you're ready to go and ride, make sure you flip this lever back all the way down. This lever is only for starting the ATV. Okay, so now it's up. Now let's give it a shot. Let's try to start it. You see it started right up, and you can hear it, the RPMs kind of going up. Oh, let's try again. We got to give it a little throttle this time, probably. Hold on, I'm trying to do this with one hand here. Yeah, to help it out, you can give it a little throttle too. Don't give it too much. If you give it too much, it'll die. So just to warm it up, you can give it a little throttle here and there, just to help it kind of warm up. And then sometimes, you know, sometimes it'll kind of get locked in a gear and you won't really be able to get it back into neutral. If that happens, you kind of got to rock the ATV back and forth a little bit and then try to shift into neutral. And then if you can't find neutral, what you can do is you can pull the clutch in and then try to start it no matter what gear you're in, and it should start. I mean, if you're in neutral, it just it makes it easier on the machine to start up. It doesn't have the resistance as if you're in gear. So let's talk about the shift pattern real quick. This one doesn't have a shift pattern anywhere visible, not like the yellow one. So the shift pattern for this is all the way down is first gear, okay? Then if you shift about halfway up, you should go into neutral. So let's try to do that real quick. So we're gonna shift all the way down. We're gonna pull in the clutch, okay? We're gonna pull in the clutch. We're gonna shift all the way down. Okay, see, it died. It's not really warmed up yet. So I shifted down, so I'm in first gear now. And the neutral light, it's not on. It might look like it's on because of the sun, but the neutral light's not on. Okay, and then to shift into neutral, what you want to do is you just want to go about, it's like a half shift up. So neutral is in between first and second gear. So all the way down is first, right, all the way down. Now you're going to do about a little half shift up right there. A little half shift up, now we should be in neutral. And yep, look at that, see, the neutral light's on. So let's try to start it again. We'll hit the black button. We let it run on the with this lever up a little bit. I'm gonna push the lever back down, and this is how you want it to be if you're, you know, ready to ride. This yellow lever has to be down here. If it's up, it's just gonna flood the system with just too much gas. Okay? So make sure this is down when you're ready to go. So see, now it's holding idle. I don't have to give it gas, it's just staying running. This is how you want it. So we're in neutral, so now let's shift up a gear. So, you know, make sure you let off the throttle, don't give it any gas, pull in the clutch, and we're gonna shift up. Now we should be in second gear. See, the neutral light went off. Now we're in second. Now let's talk about how to take off, how to get going. So what you want to do is you want to let go of the clutch just a little bit, not very fast. And as you let it go, you can feel the ATV start to creep forward. See, I'm not giving it any gas and the ATV is wanting to go already. So once you get to this point with the lever to where you're starting to roll, now you can give it a bit of gas. Okay, and you keep your lever here in this position. Don't let it go anymore. Just get it to the point to where it's rolling on its own like that, and then you give it gas. And after you give it gas and you really start going, then you can let the clutch all the way out. Sorry, trying to do this with one hand. All right. And there's no way to really tell what gear you're in, so you just have to be mindful and remember. So we're in second gear, okay? So now, let's go into third gear. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let off the throttle. I'm gonna pull in the clutch lever. Then I'm gonna shift up with the shifter. And we'll go into third. And you should feel it click. Okay, so I'll let off the throttle, pull it up, click.